All right, welcome back. The blazer is on, the blue blazer today. So you know what that means. It's time for another update on this out of control housing market. So today we're going to focus on the main point that I always talk about, which is the affordability ceiling or cap. This is the thing which destroys any housing market. It always stops the out of control growth in its tracks every single time. If nothing else does it, inventory and interest rates and all the other things, the affordability cap, you can guarantee, will always slow down a housing market. Now, this time the affordability cap hasn't actually had to reach its peak because interest rates in the United States have now started to rise. And I actually, tomorrow we've got the CPI numbers coming out, the inflation figures. I'm gonna go wild on this one. I've been right 3 times in a row, so let's see how accurate this one is. I think we're gonna see about 8.5, give or take 0.2%. I think we're gonna see 8.5% on the inflation numbers tomorrow. I know that's a pretty wild sort of projection there, but that is what I think we're gonna see as a result of food, as a result of the fuel and some of the other shortages that we're seeing as a result of the supply chain breaking down. But let's focus on housing here, and I want to just go to the shared screen a moment. So this was on the Hedge just overnight. 9 million Americans priced out of the housing market as the affordability crisis worsens. So again, this is what I've been talking about for a long time now. Affordability always peaks and takes us out. So let's look at this statement here then. Millions of Americans have been priced out of the housing market since January, so we're only talking 3 months here, as skyrocketing mortgage rates spark an affordability crisis. Now, what has this done? It's priced out 9 million home buyers from the market, about 3 million millennials. Now, let me tell you why this is really important. Let's go to this document here on Statista. This is millennials, so this generation here, born between 81 and 96. This is key because what have all the housing market pundits been saying? It is the millennials that are going to pull the housing market through and keep it rising. It's just going to keep going up because of the millennials. Well, biggest group here, as you can see, in terms of potential home buyers, but that is not the way it's looking. 3 million, so out of the 9 million priced out, 33% of them are millennials. What does this mean? Well, it means in terms of, again, we always go back to supply and demand. If all else fails, ladies and gents, just remember supply and demand. What this means is that we're not going to have the demand from the millennials because they simply cannot afford it. So what does this do? It pulls out a lot of potential buyers from the housing market at a time when housing is slowing. I want to take you to show you an example now in terms of the monthly payment, just because some people are very visual in nature. They like to, I'm a visual person as well. So I want to show you the numbers here on this. Okay, so here we've got a mortgage calculator from Smart Asset. And I just put in some really basic numbers here. And let's take a look at this then. Let's get in a bit closer. So let's say that 2 years ago you were looking at a house for $250,000, but you were priced out of that house, but you were definitely considering it. You had a $25,000 down payment, so you had about 10%, and you could get about 2.5% on a mortgage interest rate for a 30-year fixed. And the Europeans right now are crying out, how do they get 30 years when we only get 3 years or 5 years? I know the Americans have it very, very good with these long-term fixed rates. But here we are, $1,500 would have been your monthly payment. Now then, let's go to the second example. So just remember that $1,500. And what we're going to look at here, again, same website, same calculator, is $300,000. So price is up, let's say 20% over the last 2-3 years. Let's just look at it from this point of view. So price is now $300,000 for that same house that you wanted to buy for $250,000. You've got the same amount of down payment, $25,000, but the mortgage interest rate is no longer 2.5%. it's now 5%, which is, we're past 5% now actually. But I just want to make this very conservative on the numbers, so 5%. Now you look 1,500 up to 2,200. Already your payment is up by $700 a month, forcing out the affordability. Now let's say that we have another 1%, 1.5% in terms of interest rate rises this year, and bond rates start to move, because bond rates move mortgage rates as well. So let's look at this. So let's say it's 7.5% here. So let's look at this now then. And that takes us up to $2,651. So remember where we were? 1,500. We're now up to $2,651. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what could be just about to happen to mortgage interest rates over the next 6 months. Personally, I believe we're going to see 6% without any difficulty at all. We're already past 5% now. If we get to, and again, I'm being very rough here, this is more of a guesstimate, I know it's not a real word, but I would say you're probably looking somewhere around 7%. At this point, maybe 7.25. This is what would break the housing market, the US housing market. And we're very, very close to this now. We are a couple of percentage points away. So this is something to prepare for. Once we hit this affordability cap, it's all downhill from there. And this is without even talking about property taxes on top of this. Once you add the property tax increase based on the value of the house going up, this also adds to the monthly costs, which draws away from families' available spending. Now, what else does discretionary spending? What else affects this? Gas prices, fuel prices, home heating, home cooling. What about food inflation? All of these things are crippling the economy right now, and it's hitting household budgets. So you think, even without those interest rate rises, right? This is the double hit here. Even without those rises on the interest rate, the mortgage interest rate, you've already seen this rampant inflation, which is actually more like 15% year on year, not the, whatever they're saying it is right now. It's just not true. I think it's going to be 8.5% tomorrow, which means it's more like 17% in real terms before they changed and manipulated the CPI metrics. So even before these rate rises, you've got all of this, which would be drawing away discretionary income as well. And I think this is reflected in the number of mortgage applications, which are now dropping. We've seen a 9% drop. This is enormous, ladies and gentlemen. This is not, we're not talking about 1%, 2% drop here. 9% is big. However, I don't necessarily think that right now this is causing a housing market crash. I don't. Why? Because we still have, in fact, let me just go to the shared screen and show you. We still have a very low level of inventory. Let's look at the Boise housing market. You remember I called this a year and a half ago. Look where inventory levels are. They are extremely low. We can go through and start Dallas, Texas. Another thing, look at this. Sellers market. All these people calling it a buyer's market. Oh, it's, the housing market's just flipped, or whatever they say. No, it hasn't flipped yet. Look where it was last month. Look where it is this month. Los Angeles, look where it was last month in the gray. Look where it is this month. Nashville, again, last month, this month. Kansas City, last month, this month. Okay, look at inventory here. Look where it is. It is historically low. Let's look at Los Angeles. Look at inventory again for Los Angeles. Let's do Dallas, Texas. Inventory extremely low. Let's jump onto this article from Redfin. Sellers dropping their asking price climbs past last year's rate. Yes, I agree. Sellers are dropping their asking price now, and this will affect pricing later on. But it isn't quite there yet. We're not seeing this crash yet because the inventory is still extremely low. Inventory now is the last peg for you to watch. There is nothing else. It is inventory. This is it. Affordability is almost there. We've almost reached that cap if we haven't already from this inflation. We've got the interest rates rising. They've gone up past 5% now. They're done. The last thing is inventory. Once these houses start to hit the market, once inventory starts to hit the market, that is it. It is game over for the housing market. it's done. There is nothing else. That said, the housing market still feels hot, and as things slow down, it just means homes might only sell for a few thousand over asking price instead of hundreds of thousands, and multiple offers will mean 3 or 4 instead of 30 or 50. But this doesn't take away from the fact that, look, home sale price was up 16% year on year to a record high of $384,500. So overall, the housing market is going to hit a brick wall sooner or later. If you're in this sector, just think back to what happened during 2008 and 2012 sort of time period. This is going to be a repeat of that, if not even worse. So just start preparing. If you earn your money from this industry in whatever way, you're a broker, or you do mortgages, or you're an investor, etc. Just prepare for this. It is not far off now. And then finally, just as we wrap up here, a lot of people said, would I consider putting a buy me a coffee link below in the description rather than doing sponsored videos where people have to sit through a few minutes of a sponsor from time to time? So I'm going to give this a try, guys. Let's give it a try. If people do appreciate the work and like the fact they get these videos for free, I hope you will consider doing that. And if it works out well, I won't need to do sponsored videos very often. So thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you tomorrow.